And we are going to have another live Zoom here. We've had a lot of people that have recently bought the white belt to black belt sets call in, and other people that are looking into getting those and say, hey, can I really solo train? I live in the middle of nowhere. I don't have a dojo around. And that's what we designed that set specifically for, but also for people who like to cross train, who like to supplement their training. Maybe their teacher doesn't go into specific moves, or they want an encyclopedia of looking up a certain technique or something like that. That set that we made is also really good for that. And I'm super excited. We've been working on the second degree set as well, and that's going to start to get into the schools of ninjutsu and all of the specific waza, and then people will be able to look those up as well. So that's super exciting for me. But enough being said about talking, let's get to it. So get up off your couches, wherever you're at, and let's do a warm-up routine. And then we're going to show solo training today. We'll probably get into a little bit of what it's like to do the rolling phase or the ukemi phase of things. And then maybe we'll pick a weapon or two, and we'll do some basics with that as well. So for those of you out there who are ready to get into ninja training, welcome. Let's do this. So we'll do a full stretch routine. I love doing it every single day. Part of being a really good martial artist is keeping your flexibility up, as well as your own physical fitness level. So you should really be watching what your physical fitness level is, and also what you're eating. If you want to really thrive as a martial artist and just in life in general, you should be watching how you're doing that. And then also your mental fitness. What are you doing to stay happy and healthy? And that's very important too. All right, so welcome, let's do it. So standing up, we're gonna start with the head. So looking up, looking down. Tie in breath work into every move that you're doing. You wanna really get that oxygen going into the body, and let it go in and let that stretch happen. Looking left and right. Drop into your knees a little bit. Let your knees go, being bent. I did a nice 5-mile hike today with my wife in the woods here in Northern California. Just so beautiful. We saw a whole bunch of banana slugs that are really into this area. You don't see those anywhere else in the United States. But I love going on hikes. There's nothing like it. We had a little bit of rain last night, so the rivers were just flowing so much. Okay, head going around in a big circle. Nice. Just letting it relax and breathing right into that. Other way, we're looking around in a nice big circle, and this is really good. Awesome. Left foot forward, left hand up, right arm going around. Nice. Big, huge circles. Let's get that shoulder warmed up and feeling good. Awesome. And reverse direction, going back. Very good. Keep it going. I like to keep the back hand up because I've trained in a lot of different martial arts. One of them was eskrima, and the style, the cuerda style that I studied, they keep your backhand or your non-dominant hand that's not doing moves in an up position so that you're ready in case you have to do a block or another type of strike. And that really is a good thing as well. Good, we're on the other arm going around forward and reverse, going behind, opposite direction. Very good. And going side to side. Bring your feet shoulder width apart or a little bit more. And warming up side to side. I love moving on a Sunday. There's nothing like it. Gotta admit it. That 5-mile hike was a good one. I was sore before starting, but now I'm already starting to feel better warming up here. For those of you out there who are looking at the black belt set as well, some people have wrote in and they said, hey, I've got injuries or I've got some limitations. Can I still do it? Yes, you totally can. Ninjutsu is adaptable, and you can do it to the best of your ability. It's not a competition. The only person you're really competing with is yourself, and that's to get up every single day and make sure that you are making things happen. Get up, do it, move, get out there. All right, we got Lerman coming on here. Grateful for how gorgeous it is today. Yes, it is a good day outside. Awesome. All right, hands down on your hips, going around in a big circle, stretching it out, making it happen. Nice deep breaths. Breathing it out. Awesome. Going the other direction. Cinco de Mayo today. A beautiful day. The 5th. Nice. Awesome. Now let's drop down into the knees. Nice big wide circles. Coming down in. One of the things I love doing every day, go in a reverse direction with those knees, is I get up and I go to the gym every morning. So I'm a little strange after the military. I get up at 4:30 in the morning, a.m., and just get my day going by going to the gym. So I have a routine where I go Monday, Wednesday, Fridays to the gym. And then on Tuesdays and Thursday, I do a high intensity HIIT training. So that's like 30 seconds on, 15 seconds off, or 1 minute on, 30 seconds off. And it's just an amazing way to really get your body going. It warms your body up, starts to burn fat and things like that. But even after you're done with the workout, that stays with you a long time. All right, dropping into the ankles, letting that go, making it happen. Awesome. One ankle going, switch directions. All right, Troy's on. Nice to see you, Troy. Switching sides, other ankle, letting that rotate. Very good. And we've got the other direction now. I remember one of my students that came to class, I wasn't sure how I was going to handle it at first. He showed up and he had a cane with him, but it was a different type of cane. It was the one where people are blind. So as that student walked in, I had never had that situation happen to me before where a blind student wanted to train. And a lot of people would think, how are they going to be able to do martial arts? Or how is somebody with one leg going to be able to do it, or somebody in a wheelchair? And it's amazing what you can do to adapt and overcome when you really want to make something happen. That blind student taught me so much about martial arts. It was unbelievable. And to this day, I still remember trying to mess with him and get in his way or come up and put a weapon in his face, wouldn't be real quiet with it and see if he would run into it. And he would always just turn and look at me and go, "Nice try, Sensei." I loved it. I love to mess with people. And that's one of the fun things in life is if somebody does have something about them that's different, a lot of people won't say anything or whatever, and they'll just be in this uncomfortable place where they'd like to say something about it, but they don't. I'm the opposite. I'll make fun of whatever it is or find a fun way to lighten it up and joke about it. And that really opens the door for people to feel a lot more comfortable as well. So, hey, John, nice to see you. I'm glad you made it. Just in time, that's right. Anytime. If you guys are joining late, no problem. Get in here. Start warming up. We're going side to side right now with the legs. Doing the last side here, and then we're going down to the middle. Very good. All right, taking a seat. Take a deep breath in. Let it out, and let's go down to the right. Stretching it out. So for those of you who are in a ninjutsu school, one of the things that I love about going to the dojo on a daily basis is the stretching routine. And then it's actually doing the work. You don't just learn martial arts overnight. And the way our society is with a lot of things, going down to the middle, people want instant gratification with things. And I kind of like the fact that you can't figure out martial arts right away, that you have to work for it, that you're on a path, that you have a goal. That's one of the things that I loved about when I first started. Was my goal was to get to black belt, and I really wanted that black belt. And I had a really hard time with the Japanese words, even reading and writing them and speaking them. I probably still do, because I'm not the best at pronunciation with all of that. But that didn't stop me. I failed 7 times on my way to black belt because my instructor was very strict about knowing it in Japanese. And if you didn't, and you didn't get it right, and he asked you to do something and you couldn't figure it out, you had 3 chances. If you didn't do it, guess what? You failed. And I would get so mad at myself for failing. But that was good because I actually cared about it. So that was awesome. Hey, Maureen's on from Delaware. Nice to see you, Maureen. It was good to see you at the last seminar in Maryland. Thank you for showing up and coming out to that. It was really cool to talk to you about your new sword school that you're doing. That was awesome. Keep up the good work. It's really good to cross-train. Okay, let's bring those feet in. We're going to bring one of our legs up over the top, and we're going to rotate our ankle and let this go 9 times in one direction for the 9 schools of ninjutsu. Whoop, whoop. And then 9 times in the other direction. Okay, Troy's into, he's saying the movie Blind Fury. Oh, yes. It's a classic, that's for sure. Awesome. Put that foot down on the ground. Turn behind you and go ahead and stretch. So, Troy, I know while you're asking all those really cool questions about movies, you're stretching with us, right? All right. Going to the other side. Put that other leg up. And we're rotating. Very good. Okay, hands on. Awesome. I bet you she's stretching. Troy, you should take Anne's lead and get stretching. Oh, John, 1120, here we are. Bigger fan of Zatoichi now. Zatoichi films are really good, too. The Blind Swordsman. I have watched a lot of those with one of my Aikido friends. We used to have, like, nights where we would get our schools together and we would all watch different, martial arts movies, and Zatoichi is awesome. Okay, putting that foot on the ground, looking behind you. Nice deep breath in, let it out. Stretch. See if you can get your back to pop. All right, bringing the feet together. We're going to grab onto the ankles at first. Take a deep breath in. Pushing down. Whoa, stretching those legs out. My hike is coming back to say hello to me. 5 miler. I love it. Another deep breath in, straight back. Pushing down. Stretch it out. Oh, yeah. Feeling good. Okay, grab onto those toes now. We're going to pull our head down this time. So straight back, deep breath in. And go ahead and pull that head down straight. Awesome. Straight back again, deep breath in. And pulling down. Very good. All right, let's get into the hips today. So you're going to put your left foot forward. You're going to shoot your right leg back. Both hands down on the ground, and go ahead and wiggle a little bit side to side here. We're going to get into our hip stretching routine now. That's a little bit deeper, a little bit juicier, a little bit harder to do. So we're going to push ourselves. Troy, domo arigato. Hi. I like it. He's got the sensei hands on there too, the prayer hands. So in Bujinkan, what are those prayer hands called, Troy? Do you know? There's a special name for that stance. We'll see if you know it. All right, down to the forearms with the stretch now. Going a little deeper. Oh yeah, feeling it out. The hips are getting hippie on Cinco de Mayo. Come up over the leg to the other side. See if you can touch the ground. Oh yeah. And coming forward with that foot, walk that foot to the middle. Don't put your leg down yet, but see if you can drop your chest. Getting a little bit lower. All right, wiggle on side to side a bit. Getting into that hip joint. And kick that foot all the way out now, like pigeon pose. Come down onto your side of your leg. And stretch out a little bit more. That other foot should be kicked straight back. And your toes are pointed. Awesome. All right. Now we're coming up onto that left foot. Shoot your right foot to the side. Pull your toes back. And stretch out. You should feel it in your ribs here. You should feel it all the way up through your armpit. You should feel it down across your hip. And if you're pulling your toes back, you can really feel it down your leg as well. All right, coming to the side now. Keep that foot on top, bend your knee, grab through, and we do 5 rocks. Ichi, ni, san, shi, and go. Awesome. Release that leg. Let's go to the other side. Right foot up. Reaching down with both hands. Stretch into that hip. Rock around a bit. It's good to wiggle and move while you're in the stretch. All right, Troy, so you didn't give a response, so I'm going to give you what it's called. Kango gasho. Kango gasho is when your hands are together for prayer hands. For those of you who have the black belt set and know all of the stances, you would know the Kongo Gasho. Okay, drop it down onto the forearms for your stretch. That's one of the good things about the set with the solo training and things when you're doing your stances. Stances are transitory postures. So at first you just learn the stance statically. You're standing still, maybe even look at yourself in the mirror and make sure your shoulders are relaxed and whatever. Go ahead and push out on your leg and push back a little bit. Give yourself a little isometric. I think we forgot this on the other side, but that's okay. This side probably needed it. Climb up over the top, go to the other side. So the stances as isometric at first, start to dial that into your body. Then you start to feel that stance. But then in the middle of a fight or movements, you'll find yourself flowing through those stances and they'll just show up. And you'll be like, oh, that's a really cool place for that stance. Now I see why we practiced it in there. So it's pretty cool. Okay, foot in the middle, drop your chest down. Don't put the leg down yet. Just see if you can get deep into that hip crease. That joint, feel that backside, outside of your leg, quads, hamstrings, all that good stuff. Then shoot the leg over a little more. Come right down onto the leg and drop your chest all the way down. Drop it like it's hot. Woo! There we go. My caffeine's kicking in. Watch out, people. I've got these new Celsius drinks that I love. Oh my gosh, they're just delicious. Okay, coming back up. You're on that foot. Shoot the other one out. Pull the toes back. and likes this as her favorite stretch routine. Sweet. Oh, and Lerman loves the Celsius as well. That's right. Nothing like a little caffeine boost in the afternoon. Get your warmed up even more. John gives me the smiley face on that one. There we go. Okay, bringing that leg forward. And bend the knee. Reach through. 5 hits. Ichi. Knee. San. Shi. Go. Very good. All right, guys, let's get our back moving. So we're going to come on all fours here. Going to drop the belly and look up. Breathe out. Now arch your back and see if you can really push with your hands and see if you can get that back to arch up. Then drop it again. Breathe out. One more time, arching that back. All right, here's my favorite part of this stretch. I take my one arm, I go through, put the shoulder on the ground, head goes on the ground, and I go ahead and I look up right at the hand. This is just awesome feeling. I absolutely love it. Switching sides. Other hand goes through. Shoot the arm up. And now we're on the other side. Take a nice deep breath. Stretch that out. Let's do it one more time. Shoulder stretch. Right arm through. Head down. Arm up. I like to sometimes even move that arm around while I'm down here. And another time on the other side. Shooting that arm through. Back up. And stretch it out. There we go. Awesome. All right. So if you were a new student, that is in our school. One of the things that we will teach right away, blocking, punching, kicking, and rolling. And so if you're at home with solo training, one of the things that you can do is you can learn how you're going to start getting used to a mat. So you can either be on a carpet, you could be having your mats, you could go outside on the lawn. It's all possible. So what we typically will start to do is we'll typically start to do all of our training with kicking and punching and blocking. So also stances. So let's just flow through the stances like, oh, hey, you guys are a new student. How's it going today? We're going to learn the stances of ninjutsu. You'll find yourself in these stances flowing through them, maybe in the middle of a fight or at the beginning where you're like, hey, take it easy. This might be a modified ichimonji. Or you might be having somebody walking up to you and you go, oh, hey, how's it going? Can I help you? Your hands are up here. Maybe you're holding a weapon or something. And so you can use these without having to go, yeah, and you're in like a hardcore karate stance. That could set somebody off and have them go, what are you doing? But you could have your hands up and be like talking to them. Okay, so let's flow through the stances. Ichimonji. Ichimonji. Hoko. Hira. Hicho. Hicho. Ihain. Ihain. Bobi. Bobi. Jumanji. 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 So in Jumanji, I'll point out one thing for you guys. Whatever foot is forward, that hand is usually forward, and my hands aren't touching between. If I have my hands touching between, it's easy for somebody to come up and jail you. Jailing is like pushing against them or actually grabbing onto them, and then you can't pull these apart. So it gets to be interesting with that. So Jumanji, whenever that foot's forward, that hand will typically be forward, and that helps me be able to articulate a block and have the other hand come up for some type of a hit. All right, so we're continuing to flow with the stances for Troy. Kongo Gasho, there you are. Also, Hanin. Hanin, there's a special thing Hatsumi Sensei used to do with his hands as well. He would connect the two fingers to the thumb, put these here, and then have this here. As he pulls away, those fingers kind of pull out. Which leads us to the next stance, Doko. Doko, Kosei, Kosei. Now we get into the kneeling stances. So some of the kneeling stances are half stances. So this one is called Hanza. I kneel down with my foot and my hands are in like an ichimonji position. I switch sides. Hanza. Hantachi. I'm on the balls of my feet back here and I'm sitting back on the heels. Then I go down into Seiza, flat feet on the ground. And then we have Fidoza, where I literally sit on the one back leg and the other leg tucks up front. Now, what was really cool with this stance, one time in Japan, Hatsumi Sensei sat in this stance and kind of like locked himself in energetically and had some big guys come up and try to move him, and he was just locked in place. Then he ended up being able to kick them from here and do other things, so the class ended up going into a whole Fidoza class, and that was really cool to see him roll out of it, do grappling from here, and all sorts of different things. Hey, Jimmy's on. How's it going, Jimmy? Nice to see you. Okay, so those were some of the stances that we do in ninjutsu. Then if you guys were doing the solo training and you were in the first level as well, we would get into how to make a fist, how to throw a punch, how to throw a kick, how to do basic blocks, because there's only so many ways to kick blocks and all that things. And for every style, it's going to be similar, but each one is different. So the one thing that's different about ninjutsu I've found is we do vertical stabs or punches or skis. You can think about it in lots of different ways. So if I'm in Ichimonji and I'm coming forward, I hit with a vertical punch. I'm coming in when my foot and my knee and my whole rocking position here, striking with taijutsu, is at the end. That's when the fist closes. You're faster with your body being light instead of clamping down and trying to fight tight. You are light until that last hit, and then you're going to tighten up right at the end. Same way boxers do it. They're nice and loose until that very last hit when they come in and they squeeze at the end as well. All right, so this is the basic punch that we would learn from Ichimonji, rocking forward. And we called a ski because a ski means to stab, because we're a weapons-based armor art. So we're stabbing through with our punch. All right, then we get into a kick using taijutsu. You can hit with two ways with a front kick, meaning what part of your foot hits. We can project the ball of the foot, and we can also project the heel. So if I'm projecting the ball, it might look like more of a snap kick. If I'm projecting the heel to kick down a door or really get through something big and heavy, then I might use my whole body and go in with the heel. So you'll see both of these when you're watching different sparring matches or fights. You'll see people hit in different ways. With the ball of the foot one, to me, it's more of like a jab. And with the other one, it's more of a full commitment, and you really know what you're getting into with that heel one. We call this one Zempogeri. We keep our hands up while we're doing these. And these are good for you to practice at home. You can get in really good shape just by doing some of the basics. Pick a goal for yourself. Like 8 weeks to get through the first level is a really good one. And if you have the time, you train maybe an hour 3 to 4 days a week, you'll really progress really good. Time permitting, you can change whatever works for your schedule. Cool. So that would be the basic punch, the basic kick. Now let's get into maybe a basic block as well. So this basic block is an upper block. We call it Jodan Uke. And you're going to come and just give yourself a little bit of a circle here at first. In reality, it might just come up very fast with your hand and you won't see that circle as much. But when we're doing this to get people to use their spine, hips, and shoulder and arm, we get them into the basics of really doing a rotation with this. Later on for practical fighting, we tighten it up and it gets a lot faster. But you want to have really good foundation and basics, sink into your legs, use your hips and your spine, and do your rotation at first. Keep your head up, head on a swivel, so you're always looking around you for awareness. It's number one. When I was on my hike today in the woods, it's really good to have your awareness up. That's how you get to see all the animals and the cool stuff. I took some beautiful pictures of waterfalls today because, like I said, the water was just flowing, and that's from the awareness. Okay, so there's the Jodan Uke. Next is Gedan Uke. Our hands are up. Somebody's coming in with a lower punch or a lower kick. I want to get off line and drop. I might be blocking with my forearm. I might be hitting with a hammer fist. I might be turning my hands in. All of that is going to tie in with the hips, spine. We're going to use that big movement at first, and then we tighten it up later on where it might just be a quick drop or a block coming down if we need to have it. The coming off line and the falling back or at a 45, that might be enough to just absorb the kick and not really be affected by it. So that's a really good thing as well. So we have dropping in, low block, Gedan Uke. All right, so then this is all good. We've taught the person a little bit how to punch, a little bit how to kick, got their blocks going. We have tons of different drills that we throw in with these in our course that we show. But then we would get into rolling and ukemi. So ukemi is taking a fall. And later on, this will help you a lot when you're doing all of our throws and getting thrown. And then also in real life. If you're like me, and I do lots of other sports, mountain biking, surfing, skiing, I've used ninjutsu more in those than in real combat situations. I put myself in the harm's way as a bouncer, also when I was in the military, and I did get to use it for real then, but most of the time it was going over my handlebars on a mountain bike trail that I was trying to push the level on, or while skiing really fast down a slope and wiping out. And just knowing how to take the ukemi, how to do a dive roll, how to do all of the ukemi to fall properly and not really take a hit to the face and get hurt. So it's been really good that way. So here's how I teach basics of rolling. One of the things I love about ninjutsu rolling is to go across the back in a diagonal way. This is huge. A lot of people think about just going over straight, and that's fine. You'll see that in gymnastics a lot. They'll also do the sideways roll too, but this was a huge change for me to learn about the diagonal because it smooths the roll out. Anybody can roll on mats, but when you take it outside, like I do with my students that are like green belt and above, I go, cool, you're really good at rolls. Now let's see how you do on pavement. Let's see how you do on the cement. And people are like, hold on a second, what? And that's when it gets real. So it's really good. So here's what I do. I get them close to the ground at first. And in Japan, Hatsumi, one of his best ukes there was Shirishi Sensei. And I loved watching this guy. He would throw him all over the place. When he was younger, it was really cool to go to his classes as well because he taught really good ukemi practice and how to fall and how to roll. Here's one of the drills that I learned. So we start on all fours here. Just like in our stretching routine where we stretch with our shoulders, I reach out with my left hand because I'm going to roll over my left shoulder, and I put that through and get the shoulder onto the ground. And then once that shoulder's on the ground, I can kick myself right over. So I'll go back this way. Same thing. I have my right arm here. I reach through, put the right shoulder on the ground, and I come right over. This is just incredible because I have taken no impact into my shoulders here. And so for some of our students who are older and don't want to get hurt, once we get them on the ground like this and they learn how to roll without taking impact, it's a game changer for them. They no longer have to worry about what it's like to jam that shoulder in or to take a heavy impact, and it gets their confidence built up. As soon as their confidence is built up, now we're there. Then they can start to do this stuff. And for some people, they're just like, I'm going to have to work on this for a while. And maybe we just get them rolling back and forth and getting comfortable enough with just that at first. So let's do it one more time. You guys that are out there, give it a shot. You're on all fours. You have your one arm go out like you're doing the Superman. Bring that through until your shoulder's on the ground. Breathe out and kick over, and then you're ready to go in the other direction. Right hand, bring that arm through, breathe out, and kick over. So that would be one of our first ways we get the person to do that. Then we would start to look at the footwork here of what's going on. So what a lot of people will do when they do their roll is they will come up with the back of their foot down. Now, it's not detrimental. It's not going to change everything in the whole world if they do that. But if you are like me and you are obsessed with ninjutsu and you used to train 7 days a week and just train way more than most people ever do, that will eventually start to push and wear out your ligaments and tendons in a bad way. So you want to come up on the ball of the foot. There's another reason for this too. I can spin and already be in another direction on the ball of the foot with that move. It's very easy for me to push off and get up. If I have to push with the flat foot that's down and push up there, then I have to bring the foot over and turn. And you're putting a lot of undue pressure on the ends of the toes, on that shin, all sorts of stuff. I've had it happen with students where they're going and they just have fatigue on their outside of their shin from always landing that way. And I'm like, it's your foot, move your foot, come up on the ball of the foot. So when you're rolling, and you could start down in the same position, as I come over in the roll, right here is where I just came up on the ball of the foot. This is what I'm talking about. These are the little specific things that make a huge difference later on. I can do that same move where we progress to the next level, and that would be, I start from ichimonji. What do I do to get down into that same low position? I just drop myself lower. I get into a full squat here. Then I could also put the knee forward, elbow forward, shoulder, come over, and come up on the ball of the foot again. So on this way here, we'll do the same thing. I'm in ichimonji. I get down low. I come forward. My knee hits. My elbow hits. My shoulder hits. I roll over, and I'm up on the ball of the foot again. These are little details that we go over also in our set. It's just the way you should be doing it. Sometimes when I'll get brought out to different schools to do seminars, they'll be like, oh, cool, can you show us like this high level move and all that stuff? And I go, yeah, no problem. Let's do some warm-ups and just basics first. And I'll watch people like do sanshin and they lift their back foot up off the ground, or they'll do moves like a roll and they won't be on the ball of their foot. And I go, how about we just correct some of this stuff first? And then we end up doing a basic seminar and they get so much more out of it because somebody will go, oh yeah, well, when we used to do hira no kamae and we'd do a sokoho kaita and a sideways flowing roll, they never told us to move our foot out and to get down low. And then our knees started to hurt all the time. And I'm like, yeah, that's one of the ways to hurt your knees is to side load with that impact. So when I teach Sokoho Kaiten, I like to be in Hira no Kamae. I turn the foot out. Same thing now. I get low again. We go over. We come back up. And then we're into our position. And they're like, that's the first time I've ever done that where my knee didn't hurt. I'm like, there you go. So we all collectively get to learn. But basics are where it's at. These little details. It's the same thing when I go shooting with my shooting instructor. It's the difference between sweeping your hand on a pull from a pistol coming out of your holster or following up through and connecting with your hands really close and then coming out. It's those details that are the good stuff. It's like, that's why you find an instructor who's better than you. When I go to Japan and I get to train with the high level guys there, it's the best. They're correcting me all the time. I love that. I'm an eternal student. That's how that mindset for me is like, yes, please. When somebody's better than me and they're in the room and they come up and actually correct me, it's like, thank you so much. I needed that so much. I don't want to do it wrong. I want to get better. And that's what I like to try to do for people as well. Okay, so that was the progression of the front roll, right? We're here on all fours, Superman out, come over, come up on the ball of your foot. Second move, in Ichimonji, drop low, come forward, come up in the roll. Same thing to take the fear out of dive rolls, right? If I'm doing a dive roll and I'm diving from way up here, that's scary for people at first. But if you have them get down into a full squat position and do a dive roll where they tuck in, it's not as scary anymore. They've learned the basics of how to tuck their arm, how to do all of that, not hit their shoulder hard and come through. It's amazing. So I'll give you guys a trick right now on the dive roll. So if we just do a normal dive roll, come down low first, reach out with your hands, use them as shock absorbers, and you can come through. One of the ones that was given to us on one of our Japan visits is to punch through or point to the back of the room as you're going over. And when you do that, it takes your shoulder completely out of getting hit on the mat at all. It's amazing. And I was like, oh, that is so cool. So I'm down in my squat position. I'm going to do my dive roll. This forward hand that would usually reach out and be a shock absorber, I just aim it towards the back of the room and point, and I go like that, and I'm over and up. Now the first part of that roll actually hit the upper part of my back instead of the shoulder going into it. So these are little tricks that I want to share with you guys that I love. They get me fired up and I'm all like, oh, this is pretty cool. Yes, Moondog, you tuck the chin as well. That's the look. When I point my finger, my head goes that way. Guess what happens? It looks. So Moondog had a really good point here. This is a very important point for back rolls as well. We've had so many students jam their neck at first because they didn't look in the direction they wanted to go. This is a really cool story point here. I was working on my surfing, and I was surfing with a professional surfer, and he goes, oh, I'm watching you drop in, and I'm realizing why you're wiping out a lot at the bottom of the wave and not making it. I said, why? Please, let me know. He goes, look where you want to go, not where you don't want to go. And I was like, huh? He goes, yeah, when I'm paddling in, I'm already looking at the wave, which then turns my neck, which then turns my shoulders, then turns my spine, then turns my hip. And I'm like, he's doing ninjutsu. Like, it's the same thing. So check this out. When I'm doing a back roll, I have people start down in a position with their leg tucked, right? The other leg is up. I got this move from Sheila Haddad. This is just the most amazing way to think about this. You're going to put a water bucket on top of your knee. You're going to pour that water bucket out. So I'll switch sides here so you guys can see it better. If I have the water bucket here and I pour it out, but I don't look at it, my head's in the way down here and I'm going to get jammed up. But if I watch myself and turn my head and look in the way that I'm going to be pouring the water out, your head doesn't even touch the ground. See how it didn't even come close to the ground? I came over so easily that didn't hurt at all. So I'll do one in this direction for you. I have my knee up, my other leg's tucked underneath, water bucket's on top. I'm going to pour it over my right shoulder here, and I'm going to watch this happen, right? Going over, and I'm up and in. There we are. Water bucket. So this is another cool way to think about, how do I move my head? How do I hold my neck? Where do I put my feet? How do I walk? How do I go into stances? How do I do my punches? All of that good stuff. It's just really cool and it's really amazing. All right, so that after we would do rolling, we would start to get into ukemi skills. Ukemi skills are another really good thing to know for when the roll isn't possible. Maybe you're jammed up side of a car and you come out of it, somebody starts shooting at you and you have to just go down really quickly, and you maybe want to go and face underneath the car and start returning fire, and you don't want to roll out of it. You want to use the car wheels as protection or the engine as protection. There could be all sorts of different stuff that you might be using ukemi for. So some of the things with ukemi to start at first, so that it's easier for people to think about it, is just going slow. I'm going to use my right leg as an elevator to lower myself down. I can do 2 different ways. Let's do a backwards ukemi for an instance. I'm here. I shoot this leg out, and I'm coming down, and I get a light touch with my hand, and then I'm in a downward position. So I'm sliding that front leg out, coming down nice and easy, and I use that back leg to lower me down for no injury. Hey, Chris, nice to see you. Okay, that second way to do the back roll is I come down on my knee, and then I'm going to just let myself come down again. My legs are up in a fighting position in case somebody's going to try to jump on me to do ground and pound. Then I'll put my 5 years of Gracie Jiu-Jitsu training into effect. Okay? So then we're going to have our slide out as the one, our kneel down as the other, and then from there, you can kind of see where it goes. If you want to go into a roll, you can pull yourself up into a roll if you've got the core strength from fitness. And there's where being a nice fit martial artist comes into effect. It's really, really good. Ukemi is awesome. Okay, other ways to think about ukemi aren't just falling. They could be moving with tai sabaki and getting out of the way. So if somebody's swinging a club at you, or somebody's swinging a baseball bat at you, or somebody's stabbing at you with a knife, depending on what way they're going to be doing that attack, you're going to move your body. And these are really good ways of thinking about ukemi and ways of moving and then taking it down if you have to. You can also attack with ukemi as well. You could roll into somebody, you could tackle somebody. There are different ways to think about that. And so it gets to be really fun. Okay, so then we would do ukemi. That would be our next portion of what we'd go through. And then with our new students, we'd start to talk about different things with them that would be bringing in what I love about traditional martial arts, and that is the honor, the respect, the integrity. So the minute you're coming onto the mat, you're going to learn how to respect the place and do a bow. You're going to call people yes sir, yes ma'am. You're going to keep your uniforms clean. You're going to keep yourself clean. You're going to trim your nails. You're going to brush your teeth. You're going to take showers. All the stuff out there that you should be doing, but some people need to be taught it and they're forgetting about it. And it's just funny that that's part of it, but it is. And so you're taking care of yourself as a human being. And then we get into the mental. The mental stuff for me is easy. It's showing up. Because when I'm in class, I forget about my day. I forget about what's going on in life. I'm fully there, present, and I'm doing class, and I'm having fun with people that are into the same thing I'm into, bettering themselves through martial arts training. And it's just great that there are communities all over there that are doing it. For me, that's what it's mostly about, is having that community together where people are in a like-minded place in a like-minded way. One of the meditations that I've done before on the channel that works for me is just watching your breath work. So one of my friends who is a really long time meditation person, I said, if you only had 30 seconds to teach somebody a meditation, what would you teach them? If that's all you had and you knew you wouldn't be able to see them anymore and you wanted to change their life. And he's like, okay, I would tell them to get a really big straw, like the kind of straws that I used to get when I used to eat McDonald's and have shakes. And so those straws were bigger. They were thicker. He's like, I would have them put that straw in their mouth, pinch their nose closed, and learn how to breathe out 30 seconds in, 30 seconds out. And I would just tell them to try to do that for 5 minutes. If they could work their way up to 10 minutes, or if they could work their way up to 15 minutes with just that long breath in and just that long breath out and concentrating on that breath while they're breathing, it will bring you into a whole nother state. A lot of times people are taking gulp breaths or shallow breaths. They're not expanding their diaphragm. They're not working out. They're sitting on a couch. They're just not participating. So just deep breathing alone and concentrating on that breath. And I said to him, could you give me an example of concentrating on the breath? Like, what is your mind doing? He goes, literally just think about this. I am breathing in. I am breathing out. That simple. And I was like, all right, I got to try it. It's sure enough, it does put you in a different state. You get relaxed. Your heartbeat starts to regulate. All sorts of cool stuff happens. And so we have a lot of really cool meditations that I've learned over the years. And I've asked Tatsumi Sensei about these too. And it's just really cool what he came up with all sorts of different ways of stretching, doing Junin Taiso, dragon breathing, and things like that. You could get some of his books and look into some of those. There are hints of what they are in there. And it's just neat. So that part for me helps my mental stability and health occur and be really good. But the saying yes sir, yes ma'am, and being polite and courteous to people and actually having real good interactions with them in life, that goes even further in all of business, all of relationships, and just in general. I remember being a young kid and being brought up that way with my first martial arts instructor. And every time I would go to, my parents would introduce me to a new person, or I'd go for a job interview and I'd shake their hand and I'd look them in the eye and I'd say, yes, sir, or yes, ma'am. They would say, outstanding. That is what we are hoping for in young people these days. And that's what we teach. We try to teach people like life skills like that. As martial arts instructors, I think everybody should be teaching those skills, not just the mat stuff. So that's where we get into some of our Ninjas in Nature courses that we go teach some of the ancient skills out, like friction fires and whittling and how to make fires and things like that. And what happens on those when you're out in nature and everybody's whittling, you go into timelessness and there's people having conversations, and that's when we weave in the good ways to like be talking to people in life, how to conduct yourself properly, and it helps bring awareness skills up as well. So this is what we're doing here. We're spreading the light and the love, and we're doing martial arts, and we're doing ninjutsu, and we love it. So I hope you guys had fun today with our live training. I have only a few of the t-shirts left on our first round. So let me break these out for you guys here. This is the Ninja Training TV logo on the front, with the Ninja Training TV in Japanese as well as in English. And then on the back of the shirt, we just have the 9 schools. And this is a really cool one. I just love the Bujinkan. And I love this thing in here, 9 currents, 1 river. So 9 different schools, all bringing us to the same exact end. And that is how to live life, how to do martial arts, how to be a good human being. And I'm just honored and really grateful that I was given the path to follow by so many good mentors and instructors before me. And just hope I'm doing that a little bit of justice by sharing with you guys as well. So if you guys like what you're seeing on these live classes, get ready. We have the new 30-day Ninja Challenge coming. So for those of you out there who are just kind of watching Ninja Training TV as an entertainment channel, we're shifting that focus into not just entertainment, but we want to educate you, and we want you guys to try ninjutsu. So we are going to do a 30-day Ninja Challenge. We've been filming these 10-minute days. Each day will have a new challenge to it, and you're going to get to kind of see what's in the whole black belt course in those 30 days. And on the weekends, we're going to have outdoor challenges like friction fire challenges and how to do carving. And we're going to make our own like weapons and things like that we make for wooden weapons. And it's going to be really cool to show you guys like a smorgasbord of everything that's in ninjutsu. We're going to have a Weapons Wednesday. We're going to have an awareness day. We're going to have some meditations that go into there so that people can get really a lot out of it. And it's going to be for free. And we're going to just share ninjutsu with you. There's also going to be some giveaway prizes, so there's going to be a secret ninja word of the day, and we're going to have a private Facebook page where people who join this contest come on. They'll have to put in their private thing that they saw, and they'll have to do their weekend videos, and at the end there's going to be a grand prize drawing. We're going to have daily drawings, could be t-shirts, free videos that we're giving away, all sorts of different things, and then we'll have weekly drawings as well. So we're going to make it fun for people to be a part of it, and it's going to be our 30-day ninja challenge. So look for that. It's going to be happening June 15th. We're going to start that. I'm getting back from a seminar in Britain, and so we had to give a couple days leeway for that challenge to start. If you're interested in it, you can always email me. We're going to put up a email on the Ninja Training TV website that's going to be available, but you can also just email me, Mark@Ninja Training TV, and say, I want in the contest. If you do that and I get your email, then we'll add you guys to the private Facebook page that we're going to put up for just the contest, where you'll be able to see all sorts of extras, bonuses, videos, and how-tos of getting into the contest and things like that. So 30-day Ninja Challenge, get ready. Cool, we just put it up in our restream there for you guys to know for the email. And hope you guys had a great day. Hope you have the rest of your weekend goes good. Think of one thing that you're really grateful and share that with somebody that you love. And then ask them, what are you grateful for? That way we can start to spread that joy to each other. All right, guys. Well, like I say on all of my YouTube channel sayings at the end, hope you guys are doing good. And as always, keep training.